Welcome to another edition of Insurance Questions Podcast Live. We're coming live. I'm in Greenville. Donnie's in very expensive Williamsville, Amherst area of Buffalo, New York. Because let me ask you this, Don. Well, first of all, I would like to say that all of the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo and Donnie Lowe are purely for entertainment purposes. Say your thing real quick, and then we'll get going on the show.
Sure.
Don.
So like, subscribe.
I like you, Donnie.
Do all the things you do. Wherever you listen to the podcast or view the podcast, just hit the like button. Subscribe to listen to us more often. Hit that fan mail button so you can send us some emails or texts or however that works. And TikTokers, keep your correspondence going with Eddie B, as he enjoys that a lot. So thank you for listening and viewing.
So if anybody's wondering, the hat I have on, the number 3, no, it's not Dale Earnhardt. It is for Damar Hamlin, and he's last year when he was with the team, I thought they just kept him as you can't dump a guy that had such a horrendous impact. A good and bad impact on people the year before when he had cardiac arrest on the field.
Yeah, I was just going to say, why don't you tell the story about Damar? What happened? For those that don't know.
So Damar Hamlin, was he a rookie then? I don't remember.
Yeah, and I think he's still considered a rookie.
Oh, by the way, is it too soon for this, Don? No, it's not liquor. I don't drink.
I know.
But I wanted to show you the glass. That's a big Texas thing. It must be a big everybody thing, but here you see them all over the place. Because not to get sidetracked, but I know I'm gonna. I want to talk about the Sugar Skull right there.
Well, you sidetracked. We never get sidetracked, right?
I know, right? So let's talk about Damar Hamlin first.
Yeah.
He was a rookie, and he got hit in the most unperfect spot, and he went into cardiac arrest on the field.
Yeah.
They stopped the game. He had a full recovery, thank God. And last year, he didn't play very much, and they kept him on the team. And I'm like, well, they're probably just doing that as a PR move. And this summer, in training camp, he tore it up. And he got his starting job back.
Yeah, which was great.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and I think you just said cardiac arrest, but they literally on the field, they had to bring him back to life.
Yes.
So this shows how remarkable this is.
And I know a little bit more about it, but I'm not going to talk about it because it's not my story to tell.
Right.
But it was just unfortunate that last night when Tua, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, it's his third concussion. And, they've been going over it. And I've been listening to all the different ESPNs, and I've been listening to WGR back in Buffalo. And he actually ran into Damar Hamlin.
Yeah, I was going to say how ironic. And he kind of, I think he hit the chest area of Damar.
Right. These kids are solid. It isn't like there's fat guys out there playing. Those are the offensive linemen. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. So I don't want to hear any garbage, all right? So, but it's horrible. And I hear a lot of people saying god-awful things, not Buffalo Bills fans, but, not all, who knows. But everybody all over the country are saying horrible things right now. And Bills Mafia has stepped up. And Bills Mafia, since the injury last night, have been donating money to Tua's charity.
Oh, my God. I didn't even see that yet.
Not only does Bills Mafia travel well, but they have big hearts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So good luck to Tua, whatever happens.
Yeah.
We spoke a little bit this morning, and I said what was really crazy. Oh, yeah, that's Damar's number, by the way, guys. You can get it at Berkey Sportswear. South Buffalo, New York, if he still has them. But it's crazy. About a month ago, Tua sat down for an interview, and the interviewer asked him, about the concussions he had in 2022. One of them was against us.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't it the wild card game?
When he went down, no, it wasn't. It was during the season.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, they canceled the game and they didn't replay it.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. So I'm losing my train of thought. Not that. Oh yeah. So the interviewer was talking to Tua and asked him straight out. It's like I'd be asking you, Don. What did your family think about this? What are you thinking about this if this happens again? And he came straight out and said, I'm a dad now. I think I'd walk away. And holy cow. I mean, I never even heard this term, Don, that he was in a fencing pose.
Oh.
That's what they call when his arms and his fingers were all distorted.
That's right. That's right.
And I've seen this before in different sports. The worst case of it, believe it or not, and you guys got to look this up if you've never seen it. It is just barbaric, but it's like a car crash. You can't help yourself from watching. It's slap fight championships.
Oh.
Where, I've been a boxer most of my life, but I'm going to try to avoid getting hit.
Yeah.
With this sport, done. They just have you stand there like this, put your chin out, and somebody just wallops you. Bam! Oh. And I gotta say, the women are a lot more vicious than the men in the instances that I saw.
So, how can this be legal?
Oh, this is legal, and people go pay to watch this.
That is barbaric, if you ask me.
So, this woman got hit so hard, she got knocked out. She got knocked down, and she did the pose, and they're such a-holes, the announcers for these guys. The guy's like, look, rigor mortis is set in. I'm like, oh, that's not nice. She got knocked over. She went into that pose, and she kind of tumbled down. And it's like, holy crap,
I remember you sent me that clip of that.
I sent you, yeah.
It's like, yeah. It's crazy, Again, I don't see how do they get paid? Is it contest or competition?
They do that for money, Don. They let somebody wail on it for money.
How is that legal?
Depends on the state, I guess. I don't know where it's legal, but
I guess
they're doing it. It's the same thing like bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah.
No one, and I mean no one, wanted to make this a legal sport and have it sanctioned by a state. And one state finally said yes, and the rest fell into line because it's money.
Yeah. I was just going to say, follow the money, right? That's what it is, unfortunately.
So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. And they had his coach on this morning at his press conference. He said, when it comes to Tua, I'm not talking about football. I'm talking about him and his family, which I thought was
great.
That's
classy. Yeah, absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. We're Bills fans, so we're not really thrilled with the Miami Dolphins. But these people are people.
Yeah.
They have a mom, they have a dad, they have kids, they have siblings, they have families and friends that really care about them. It'd be like saying, Donnie Lowe, see, he got hurt. That guy slapped the shit out of him, and he went right down, and he was all distorted and everything. But I don't know. It's an interesting time we're living in.
On all fronts, it seems like it's just crazy. It's crazy. So
what is today, Don? What is today? Before we get off track even more.
Exactly. Today is Friday.
Friday what?
September 13th.
No. And for you young kids out there, this has been a thing way before the movies.
Yes.
All right. And I had a laugh to myself this morning. I don't know if I saved it or not. But the the caption was, "People in Friday the 13th that deserve to get killed." I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what is wrong with people? Now, a lot of people wonder where Friday the 13th came from, why it was unlucky. Did you find anything in your research, Don?
Well, in my research, it's really not pinned to one or even two different things. It's kind of like mythology almost, you know. So, you know, one of the things I found was it goes back to the way back to the Vikings and the Nords.
Really? What happened there?
Well, they're saying that the unlucky nature of number 13 is a Norse myth. So there were 12 gods having a dinner, and there was a trickster god who was not invited, but
Tell me
he
about Friday the
arrived
13th.
as the 13th guest and arranged for basically one of the gods to shoot another god with a mistletoe tipped arrow. So then after that one god died, the whole earth got dark. You know, so
That's crazy.
the whole earth mourned, is what they're saying. So it was a bad,
Yes.
unlucky day.
So let's see what they have to say, Don. I use Gemini. I've been using that a lot lately. On Friday 13th, the superstition that many people associate with bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
It occurs when the 13th day of the month falls on a Friday. While there's no scientific basis for this belief, it's deeply rooted in culture and historical traditions.
Right.
So this is not what I learned in theology class, but I'm going to read it anyways. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
It did talk about your Viking thing. And they also talked about medieval times. During the Middle Ages, Friday was considered an unlucky day, and the number 13 was associated with witches and evil.
Right.
Speaking of witches and evil, where is that sassy Sarah? She's not here to holler at me, so
Yeah. Ooh, wait till she sees this one.
she don't watch this stuff. So I was taught about something in theology class, but this is different. It says it has biblical roots. Some believe it stems from the Last Supper, which took place on a Friday. It was intended by 13 people, one who betrayed Jesus.
Yeah.
And what I learned in theology class, that Jesus was crucified on a Friday, the 13th. And it kind of lines up, you know? So it's interesting. And we're not holy rollers. We're not telling you, we're just telling you a story. Okay. So I got enough of these friggin' emails and messages and everything like that. So.
But you're right though. It does tie into some religious things because
it does.
They even cite like the arrest of the Knights Templar on Friday, October 13th. King Philip IV of France.
God, don't you hate wearing glasses, Don? They get so dirty and filthy.
And it's the glare too, you know.
And then you're like, oh, get some contacts, Eddie. Why don't you wear contacts? Well, number one, too lazy. And the last time, I'm so old, I needed bifocals. And they came out with bifocal contact lenses. Cool, right?
Right.
Great idea. So what it is the whole edge of the contact is your bifocal. Great technology. Pretty cool. Until you're walking downstairs. And then your depth perception always misses that last stair. I fell down my stairs in the basement in Buffalo 3 times, and I'm like, nope, we're done with contacts forever. Just go back to the glasses. But the podcasters don't like it because you can see the lights in my glasses. And you too, not as bad as mine, but you can see it in yours too.
Yeah. So for me, my eyes are my eyes are blue. So they say, people that have blue eyes, their eyes are more sensitive.
You're so sexy with your blue eyes.
Good old blue eyes, right?
I got blue eyes too, actually.
I mean,
it's hard to see through the glasses. But come on, look at my baby blues. I know you get excited. I know that's what it is. So, and another thing this week, I had to change my camera because I was sick of looking at the same thing. So I turned it, and none of you guys liked it. Nobody's really commented online, but you hated it. Sarah hated it.
I didn't hate it.
Our producer, Tyler, the creator, hated it. It's like, I don't get it,
It was just, this is better. This is better. Because when you were talking, you weren't looking at the camera, you were looking at the computer.
Well,
more or
because I'm
less.
always doing other things when we're doing this. Because
Well, I know, but it's so
that.
you're engaging in conversation, but not looking at
So,
us.
can we talk business at all, Don?
I don't know. Do you really want to?
I want you to talk about something crazy you sent me last night.
How many different things did I send you?
The Bitcoin one, the cryptocurrency one with our former president.
Yeah, it's again, when we talk about the economy and interest rates and the Fed and cryptocurrency, it all comes back to politics, really. So, I think one of the things is there was if you're referring to this one, because I know I sent you a couple different ones, the one article in Forbes that said if Kamala Harris is elected, they expect cryptocurrency to probably be cut in half as far as value. So it's right.
And how are they backing that up? Why is that going to happen?
Well, I'll explain it on the other side. And they said if Trump wins the election, they expect crypto to go up from say 58 or 60,000 to around 90 to 99,000.
Is he starting his own crypto then?
No, he's not starting his own, but he has embraced. And these dollar figures were for Bitcoin specifically in the cryptocurrency market.
Well, it's like the whole thing we found out with Warren Buffett. He hates crypto, but his company, it's available through his company.
Well, he owns a company. He's got shares in a company that trades.
Berkshire Hathaway. That's who has the crypto.
Well, Berkshire Hathaway has shares in a company that trades crypto.
Do they still own the Buffalo News, Don?
No, they sold it several years ago.
That's a
whole other story.
They don't even have reporters in Buffalo, do they?
No, they do have reporters in Buffalo. It's just the papers. The Buffalo News is printed in Cleveland, believe it or not.
Wow.
So
we're
all over the board again.
When we were both kids, there were two Buffalo newspapers, Courier Express in the morning and the Buffalo Evening News. That turned into the Buffalo News.
The Buffalo News, right?
I hated it. I used to go with my cousin Bruce collecting on his paper route. That was awful. I hated that.
Yeah,
and a good portion of my life, I ended up being a bill collector. So who knew?
That was good experience, good training.
Did you play podcaster when you were growing up because you wanted to grow up and do that? Now I'm thinking about it. Like the light just went off. I was collecting money when I was a kid, and I became a bill collector. So who knew? So I guess I was kind of playing bill collector.
Is that what you dressed up as for Halloween?
Yeah,
a bill collector.
Yeah,
or insurance salesman.
Yes. I think I'm going to dress up as you.
Don't do that to yourself.
I don't want to spend a lot of money, so where's the best place I can buy a pickleball racket? Or is it paddle? I'm sorry, Don.
No, I think
he gets so angry. Look at his face.
No. I'm trying to think. It is a pickleball paddle. It's because it's not a racket. A racket has strings. You could get one at the Wally Mart, as you say.
Wally World.
And
you're always off a little bit. You try to be cool.
Well, I just want to see if you're on your toes and listening.
To be cool, Don. Stop it. No.
So
let's see what I'll actually. Here we go. Let's look at the text that Donnie sent Eddie.
It's the one that I referenced. So the reason why is because Trump is embracing cryptocurrency, and Harris
kind of blew me away, but I wasn't really too surprised.
So he's embracing more or less, if it's not centrally monitored and controlled, where they're saying like Harris is, because she favors government doing more things, that it would be controlled. So that's why they're saying that the value would be down if she were president.
So I sent you something this morning.
I
don't know if you got a chance to see it. But the title
I glanced at that article.
Is BRICS. I mean, we've talked about BRICS before, and what does it stand for, Don?
It's those things that when you want to build a house or a
No,
building,
they're not Legos either, Don. So no, you used that joke already. No.
BRICS is a group of countries that are getting together to basically have their own monetary system.
And I think it's scaring the hell out of people.
Yeah, it's
who knows what's going to
BRICS.
happen
Yeah,
to the
definitely.
dollar.
It's BRICS for those that aren't sure of what it is.
Brazil,
Brazil,
India,
Russia, India, China,
and
and
what was
Saudi
the
Arabia.
S one? Saudi Arabia. So what really caught my attention, because we really talked about, like, wasn't it something crazy like it was like $14 for every American dollar if BRICS was available right now.
Right.
So the title of the thing, and it looks like we're under Watcher Guru, is this site that we were on looking at this. So, and a gentleman by the name of Vinod D'Souza wrote this article, and he's talking about an article in Forbes that the U.S. dollar fails to enter the top 5 strongest currency list. But what really got my attention is that BRICS, the one that everybody's afraid of, they haven't even cracked the top 10.
Yeah,
I'm wondering how much that's going to change as more countries go on to the BRICS system.
I think there's a lot of it is because of the political side of things in all the different countries.
So they're showing me 6 of the top. Well, I'm going to go over the top 5. Number 5, Gibraltar pound, United Kingdom. Jordanian dinar, it's Jordan. Omani rial, which is Oman. Let me backtrack. So right now, the British dollar is worth $1.32 to American.
Well, no, that's not the British dollar.
Oh, that's right. They're in
it's Gibraltar. Actually, so the British pound is number 6.
Oh, I
and
saw
that's
that.
United. That's United Kingdom.
And that's $1.31 for
Right.
every American dollar. Gibraltar pound is $1.32. The Jordanian dinar is $1.41. And then number 3 is the Omani
Rial.
It's from Oman, and their dollar is worth $2.60 for every American dollar.
Right.
Bahraini in Bahrain is $2.65, and the biggest one, which is kind of surprising to me, is Kuwait. That's the number 1 strongest currency in the world.
Yeah. So I guess with the exception of
$3.27 for the American dollar.
they're all smaller countries, right? And the top 4 are all in the Middle East.
Yeah, U.S. dollar dropped to number 10.
That's crazy, but it's understandable. I mean, look at the debt, the inflation.
I mean, you can look at it 2 ways, Don. It's like, holy crap, what's going on? But a lot of these countries are doing this as a money grab so that they would have their own currency.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting too.
Yeah, it is. Boy, talk about rabbit holes. You can really go down. We talked about cryptocurrency. You can go down that rabbit hole. BRICS, go down that rabbit hole. This, this one here, go down that rabbit hole with all the different currencies of the world.
Yeah.
And people do. I mean, that's all they focus in on is, a certain thing. But
now,
we're just trying to bring it up to everybody's, just for general information.
I know BRICS is supposedly going to be backed by gold. They're going to go to the gold standard. I'd really like to know what all these different countries, what's backing up their dollars. It's just like, oh, hang on a second. Wait a second. Wait, hang on. Give me a denomination, Don. $100
For what? What am I giving
working
you
on
money
something
for?
here.
All right, $100.
$100. That's what I wrote down. See, we think alike. We've been together way too long. I think it's time for a divorce time.
Yeah, no, we could be friends though.
No, if I can't have you, nobody can have you, Don. Okay, so me and Donnie, we just started Donnie Dollars. So this is $100 Donnie. Isn't it nice, the artwork in that? And
Oh,
it's
it's
small and
beautiful.
compact, so it fits in that nice little pocket in your jeans. Did you ever wonder what that little pocket's for, Don?
Oh, I think I know where you're going because I saw that meme too, or meme, however you say.
So originally it was for pocket watches. Do you
Yes.
remember when you were in your 30s and had pocket watches back when
Yeah,
they were
it was a
popular in the
new
old
thing.
west?
It was so convenient.
But for me, I'm planning on folding up my Donnie dollars. Look how small it is. I can fit that right in my little pocket in my jeans. But I'd
Perfect.
have to take something out. I'd have to take out the picture I have of Donnie. That's what I keep.
I
That's
thought
what
you
I
said,
keep in my jeans little pocket.
I thought it was Josh Allen.
Oh, it should be. Holy crap, Dad. Going back to it, did you ever think it was going to be a game like that, Don?
No, I was before the game. I told my wife, I says, I just don't feel good about this game.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah.
Well, the one good thing, I mean, it was such a big, was it last year, or the year before, that we played in Miami during the day?
Oh yeah.
And they built that stadium so that the opposition's always in the sun.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Jimmy, I hope you're watching this because I'm trying to be super nice because of everything that happened with Tua, but tomorrow's another day.
Squish the fish, baby.
So, we were going back and forth last night. One of my buddies at the gym, Jimmy, how funny, Jimmy at the gym. I never really thought of that. We were going back and forth, and I was getting pretty rude. But after the injury, it's like, dude. So I can't even show you his text because I have him at. It's not Jimmy. It says Dolphin Bleeper. Well, let me go back to this.
You're
We're
being
gonna find
good.
some of the stuff that I can actually say on air. I did send. I'm gonna cover up his name. I did send him the Josh Allen one, the one I sent you.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah,
dark, and he's Jaws.
yeah.
So we started the day off with no. After I showed him the Josh Allen thing, I go, "It's pouring there. Good thing you guys have a good running game," which they don't because they're hurt. And a bad weather quarterback. He talking about Tua way before the injury.
Yeah.
Then I sent him like a bunch of different memes. Like this was my favorite one I sent him. And they had kept on going on fourth down, and they just didn't get it.
Yeah.
He's like, just keep on giving him field position. I'm like, let James Cook again. James Cook was a monster
He
yesterday.
was. Yeah. He had
And
a
so
great game.
his response was, "Game over, man. Game over." And I'm like, I think it's because it's not sunny outside. And before he got injury, I'm like, when do you pull Tua after 3 interceptions? He's like, no, they're stuck with him now. And then a couple plays later, the poor guy got that injury.
I know.
But it's fun. I think that's why we like football season. Because everybody has bragging rights. And no, I am not going to be a Dallas Cowboy fan, even though I live in Dallas. Because I thought about it for like 2 seconds, Don. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start being a Dallas Cowboy fan. That way I'll have 2 teams to fight, talk to people about and fight about. And then I'm like, yeah, but then you got 2 teams. I mean, we've had our heart broken so many times by the Buffalo Bills. I'm like, do I want to be disappointed twice?
I know.
I'm like, nah, I'll stick with my Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry that I even thought like that.
Good decision.
Yeah. So it's up for the weekend, Don.
Not too much. I think perhaps dinner with friends, and then I think we're gonna go see a Chicago. I think it's a cover band. I don't think it's the.
You were saying that.
Yeah.
It's funny. Have you ever seen Chicago before?
No.
I've had a lot of layovers there, but I've never been in the city proper.
I've been there.
Listen, Don. So 5 or 6 years, I don't know how many years ago, I was able to go to a Notre Dame USC game.
At Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's great.
I went and I got to go on the field. I got to hit the sign. It was really, really cool. And I don't know where I'm going with this. I kind of lost my thought there for a second. Squirrel! Squirrel! Squirrel!
Ooh,
What
it's a
were we
shiny
talking about?
squirrel.
Where am I going with this point? But it's just fun football season. I love it. My UB Bulls play tomorrow on Saturday, and now the Bills have 2 UB Bulls on the team now, which is pretty exciting.
Oh,
And
I'm
no,
not
Nick,
sure who
I don't ask my buddy Nick anything about them because he's busy during football season. I always felt like a football widow hanging out with Nick because during the football season, I don't get to see him ever, So go Bulls! Next Bull in, baby.
So it seems like the Bills almost. It's
Chicago.
almost like a bye
That's
week.
what I was talking about. Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So
Chicago.
it was the Notre Dame USC game. It was a night game. It was beautiful weather. It was a little chilly, but it was football weather. It wasn't raining or nothing. And Chicago was the halftime.
Oh, really?
They were fantastic. They were just awesome.
Yeah, I love Chicago.
I think the next year or the year after, I took my kids to a concert. Oh, and I only wanted to go because Joan Jett. I mean, I've gone enough. I mean, I've gone to Panic at the Disco with Katie, Fall Out Boy, Kiss with Allie, Iron Maiden with Allie, Guns N' Roses with Allie. It seems like there's a trend here. So, I didn't really care who else was there. I just wanted to see Joan Jett. And so Joan Jett, great set, as always. Look at I'm a poet and don't know it, Don. And so Chicago, right before they come on, the announcer comes out, and they had just won a Grammy for an instrumental album.
Oh, really?
We're about to welcome to the stage the band Chicago. We've got a treat for you guys. We're going to play the instrumental album that we just got a Grammy for, and then we'll play all our hits. And I'm like, we can leave. I don't know if it was a good show, but I wasn't going to stick around and find out,
So when you visited Chicago, did you?
I've never stayed in Chicago.
Oh, no?
I've always had layovers. Seems like every time I go to Texas, I'd either have a layover in Baltimore or Chicago, or vice versa, going back to Buffalo. It's either one or the other. It was never. I don't think I've ever had like a direct flight. I'm cheap. I don't got the money like you, Don.
Yeah. It's a beautiful city. A great architecture. A lot of Frank Lloyd Wright buildings and houses there. So the band Chicago, I think we may have talked about this before. So their original. Do you remember their original name from their first album? They were Chicago Transit Authority.
Oh, that does sound familiar now that you said that.
And so they released that first album, and then the Chicago Transit Authority, that all the buses at the time, they put filed a cease and desist of using that name.
That's ridiculous.
So their second album was Chicago, and that's how they changed.
They had to change their name. All the Buffalo herds out there don't sue me for stealing the name Buffalo.
I know. You'll be in big trouble.
Somebody just texted me. Who do you think it was, Dan?
No, I know who it was.
You got the same one.
Yeah. So I was telling you, check your text.
So I wonder if we say her name 3 times, she'll appear like Beetlejuice.
Oh.
Sassy Sarah. Sassy Sarah. Sassy Sarah. Let's see if it works.
All right.
Oh, well. Yeah, so...
Did she appear? Oh, there she is.
Yeah, because I said yesterday I could come at this time, and Eddie's like, "Oh, 11:30 is fine." Like, sir, I told you when I was free.
Ooh, that was a sir within the first 20 seconds.
Sir.
First of all the statements and comments by Sarah are purely for entertainment. So I hope you don't watch it because I was talking trash about you earlier in the show.
Oh no, because I was in a meeting with a client until
that's
12
people like
o'clock.
that.
I'm not sure what's hard to understand. Sorry, I'm a little extra sassy because I've had some clients that needed to be.
I'm sorry.
Mm,
So you are gonna like this, so Sarah.
yes.
So I said to Donnie, I'm like, guess who I just got a text from? I think you did too. And then I said, let's see if it's like Beetlejuice. I'm gonna say her name 3 times and see if she appears.
And then I
she
appeared.
did.
Yeah.
He said, "Sassy Sarah, Sassy Sarah, Sassy Sarah." Boom, there she is.
Perfect. Yeah, and
We
then
didn't
I'm
miss
wearing
one.
black, so it just goes well. Yes.
We
Right.
didn't miss
13.
much there. We've been talking about football a lot.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Friday the
No, I'm
13th.
good. I'm good with that. I wouldn't have been
So-
able to say anything anyways.
I know you like conspiracy stuff and that. You got anything on
Yes.
Friday the 13th? Are you superstitious about it?
I am not superstitious about it, but I also have a dentist appointment, so fingers crossed nothing goes wrong.
Oh, that's unfortunate for you.
I booked it, and then because it was literally the only opening in my schedule. So for those who don't know, Monday is a tax deadline for business returns. So trying to get everything figured out. And this week has been a week. And this was the only time that I had to go to the dentist. And I was like, oh yeah, Friday. And then you're like, hey, Friday, live show, Friday the 13th. I'm like, of course. Even though my birthday's tomorrow, I should have known Friday the day before is the 13th. But no.
You missed it. Did you hear about the new money that's coming out? They're printing new money. You didn't hear about it? It's been all
I
over the
did
news.
not.
It's been on the interweb. It's been on podcasts. It's called the Donnie Dollars. It's compact. It fits well in your pocket. And we can make a ton of these.
Yes.
The only thing it's missing is Donnie's mug in the middle. That'd be awesome.
Get that copy machine started. Get her cranked up.
You
You-
still have
you
a
know
copy
what?
machine?
You know what we need to do is gift cards so people can buy stuff on the merch and just give it to people and it be Donnie Dollars.
Oh, yes.
And it's
Yes.
Donnie in
Yes.
the middle of it.
That is an awesome
If
idea.
you think that's a good idea, feel
do.
free
I do.
to like let
Then
Eddie
Donnie
know.
would be stuffed in people's pockets.
Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. The IRS
Only.
is not.
The reason I folded it up like
creating
this, Sarah,
currency.
it fits perfectly in that little pocket on your jeans.
Oh, yeah, it sure.
But I was
does.
saying that I have to take something out of that pocket, and it's a picture of you, so I can make room for this. I carry that in my jeans, so you're close.
Okay, so I should not be in a pocket in your jeans. That's just creepy.
Well,
and
I
weird.
actually said Donnie at first, but I already used that joke, so I had to change it to you.
Of course.
But what's new in your world? Tell everybody where you went. I'm so jealous where you went on the when you were the moderator of the field trip the other day.
Oh, okay. So if you haven't been listening to past podcasts, we homeschool my son. There were some issues last year. It just made sense for us. But I'm in a group where we do field trips together and just social events. So he has that with other kids. And it was In-N-Out Burger. We got to tour that facility and they got to see how the potatoes are made.
And they
What-
fed you too.
And they fed us. But no. Here's the thing. They even let the kids push and make the French fries and all the other things. It was really, really awesome.
Now was it all boys and girl? Was it all boys or all girls? Obviously,
It was a
boys.
mixture. And then it went from, they had some elementary all the way through middle school age, but there weren't as many middle schoolers.
The only reason I'm asking that, Sarah, and Donnie doesn't know that because he hasn't gone, but I don't know maybe if you noticed it or not, that the boys wear the paper hats and the girls wear the baseball cap. It's like part of their uniform.
I did
Oh, really?
see that, but I didn't notice it was boys and girls.
Yes.
And then they gave all the kids the paper hats. And it was funny because there was one kid and his sister was just piling the hats on his head. And of course somebody had to take a video and was like, stand there. And then his face went from like this when she was first doing it to he didn't want to be there. It was hilarious. And I'm like, sir, I feel you because that's how I would be. because now you're a spectacle. And he was probably like 7 or 8. Like it was just one of those. Yeah. But yeah, he had a really good blast. It was really interesting information that we got to learn. Yeah, so there you go.
Cool.
And then next weekend we're going to the Alamo.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the Alamo. Just me and Aiden, and super excited about that because now he gets to dive into the history of the Alamo. We get to go a little bit deeper than the school goes. We're going to do some of the guided tours and just going for the weekend, but it's still
now. Does
really
the tour include the basement?
I don't know. And I heard they were doing construction on it, so hopefully I don't go and we can't even go.
Did you catch that, Don? What I said?
Yeah.
I'm going to ignore you.
And why I said it? Tell her why I said it, Don.
Well, number one, you froze for a second. So if you said anything
I'm messing
else,
around. I was trying to find a video with their stuff. You guys can see it now?
Yes.
At In-N-Out knows that all employees must follow a strict dress code. So just how stringent are the company's rules in regards to its male workers' uniforms? Keep watching to find out. While In-N-Out is probably most famous for their burgers and fries, you might also know they're easily recognizable. However, he was soon informed that it was very unlikely he would be given that option, according to In-N-Out.
I did see people with
guys with the paper hats.
A women's employee uniform, while male staff members are expected to wear the white paper hats. Many of the In-N-Out workers were quick to inform the newer employee of the strict dress code rule. One Reddit user explained, "Official dress code is that guys must wear paper hats unless they're outside. If they're outside, they can wear a hat with a brim for sun protection. Others recommended putting long locks in a bun or cutting the side shorter to keep it out of way while working."
So all In-N-Out Burger executives, if you're watching this, we would be great company to work with because we love In-N-Out Burger. Well, Donnie doesn't know anything about it, but it's just like Henry Hamburgers, Donnie.
Yeah, cool.
Delicious. So
Well, and
did
what's
Aiden
great
get to
is-
keep his hat?
He didn't grab one. He didn't want one.
Ah.
What's great, so Donnie, what they do is they actually bring in the chuck beef and all that stuff, and they make their ground meat themselves.
Oh, wow.
So
They do?
they
I
are
didn't know that.
literally never frozen, and it doesn't come. I didn't see them grinding the meat, just because of the time constraints. So I doubt it's shipped to them made. Like I think it's made there, but I'm not entirely sure.
Interesting.
There were 30 kids, so it was super loud. So I can't remember. What's that?
Oh, that's In-N-Out?
Oh yeah, it's their 76th anniversary this year.
Yeah, this is from last year.
In October.
Is it kind of like
Not that I go there
Five Guys?
Times.
Does Five Guys do the same thing?
No.
No.
So Five Guys, with In-N-Out, it's a very selected menu. You get burgers. You can add like one patty. I'm pretty sure you could add more if you wanted to.
They have a secret
And then
menu
it's just
too,
like
Don.
normal condiments, grilled onions, regular onions, and then the
I always
potatoes.
forget the name of that one. Is it like carnivorous one? What is that one thing, Sarah, that you said that Aiden got?
Oh, it's animal style, and it's just
Animal
because
style,
it
that's
has
it.
their house dressing on it, which I kind of think tastes like Thousand Island dressing.
They say
I'm
that's
not a
what Big
fan of
Mac
it,
sauce is too.
but that's just
Yeah.
because I don't like that dressing. But it's
No,
not
but-
bad. It's just, I mean, Aiden loves that kind of dressing, so he was like, "Oh, this is great."
I think we talked about this before on the podcast. You know those crunchy little skinny French fries that you can get? You can get the whole order like that. You just got to ask for
Shoestring.
extra crunchy.
The
Mhm.
shoestring fries.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious.
You're making me get
What's
hungry.
for lunch then? We having lunch together?
Virtually.
I'm starving.
Virtually.
Virtually.
Yeah, Sarah will be having lunch in the dentist chair.
Oh yeah, I know.
So the reason I asked if you're going in the basement in the Alamo, did you ever see Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Oh, I
God,
did, but I
so
don't
many-
remember that part.
Okay,
That was
Eddie,
part
I'm
of
gonna
it.
make
There,
Hold on,
there
I'm
is
gonna
no
make-
basement.
I'm going to make you feel
I would
really,
say-
really old. I remember it as a child. I remember nothing from it.
Okay.
So
That was
I'm
a part of the
just,
joke.
Just the extra dig to you for
I want to
And
know.
for those who don't know, I make fun of people being old, even if they're a day older than me. It's just how I am. I grew up in a smart aleck family. That's just what we do. So
Now we're gonna get bad emails about Sarah because about her ageism.
I know,
Exactly.
right?
People
Hey,
now.
I will always keep us relevant and lots of comments because I say things.
Yeah, because you never see them. I'm the idiot that gets them all the time.
That's why I say they need to bug you. It's fantastic.
Yeah, so when you come back, I'd like to see some pictures. And everybody that's gone to it, they all tell me the same thing. It's super small.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
And I've never been there before, and I grew up in Texas, so it's going to be awesome. The thing
Texas
that
is
we're
so
going to
big.
do,
You know,
well, and that's the plan is with him being homeschooled, starting to travel to all the different historical sites and turning it, because with him, he loves reading and he has great reading comprehension, but I just want to make it that much extra absorbing, I guess. That's
well,
way
then
bad. That's horrible grammar, but whatever.
he can relate to it then. You know, it's relatable to
Yeah.
see something that you talk about.
so now Donnie, Sarah always makes fun of me that I moved to a itty bitty little town that has nothing here. I got a ton of stuff here. So I'm at the gym this morning, and what do you think's on the Food Channel, Sarah?
Oh, I think
Here
I
in
know.
Greenville, Texas, at the different restaurants.
Oh no, they have a lot of things there. My thing is it's so far out and how social you are. Smaller
baby.
towns shut down
I'm
early.
far out. I know I am.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with small towns. I like them being slower paced. They're really relaxed, which is awesome. But it
Especially if
comes
you're
down to-
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Sure. I run into the issue of some things come up and I need to like run to the store at like 10 p.m. because something
Kid, there's
urgent
stores
happened.
all over here. I got 2 freaking Walmarts within a mile of each other.
I understand, but I'm talking about smaller towns. Usually those, even Walmart's close at 10 p.m. When with my husband, we would go visit my mother-in-law. She lived in Altus, Oklahoma, which has an air base in it. But it was super, super small. Oh, I love that town. It was so amazing because of how slow paced it was. You went the speed limit because there was really no hurry for you to go anywhere else. It was
We
so
got
great.
a lot of speed traps on the 380. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, and it was one of those of just going up there. It was actually a true, like it took us a while to stop going so fast. Because you're so used to constantly moving and shaking and running and doing all these multiple things. And there it's kind of like, I mean, we can go to lunch. Let's go over here and we can take the hour and a half, 2 hours. And because we're not in a hurry to go anywhere else.
So if you do the speed limit, are they real strict? Like,
whoops, sorry.
They are strict. But sometimes you also get like his mother-in-law was a very sweet woman. She would travel 10 miles underneath the speed limit, 5 miles underneath the speed limit. And some of the older people would do that, or you get stuck behind a tractor. I mean, it was just one of those things of, yeah, you didn't really speed because of the cops. There were a few people who did, but it was more of not like I'm in a rush to get there because it doesn't take that long to get across town.
There's
not that much traffic.
There's a first-ring suburb of Buffalo. I won't say the name, but you'll know.
You're a chicken to say it because I'll talk crap.
As a matter of fact, it has the same brand name of an appliance that used to be able to appliance company that used to be able to purchase Sears.
That would be Kenmore, New York. Solid Sears.
Anyway, so from North Buffalo, you say you're driving up
all
Delaware
the rich folks
Avenue,
in North Buffalo.
You hit Kenmore Avenue and it turns into Kenmore. So it goes from 35 in the city, I think it is on Delaware. It goes to 30. And they will pull people over if you're doing 31 or 32.
See, it used to be 3 miles over you were safe. I guess not
in Kenmore. Not in Kenmore.
Not in Texas either.
And then
some places you can do between 5 to 10 as long as you're under 10. But it goes into how busy is the cop, how much they want to get tickets, and it's really hard to gauge in the smaller country towns.
And if you're on the
see
highway
1 mile
in
over.
Dallas, you're just trying to keep up with the traffic because everybody's driving like a friggin' maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
So,
that
let me ask
probably
you
every
this,
year.
Sarah. All the Texans, are your turn signals broken?
So hold on. That's
Oh.
more of the people who move here from out of states.
They
who
must
have
move there from
Texas
Florida.
licenses.
Probably.
In Florida, it's like that.
Yeah, no, because when I was learning how to drive, there were more people who use turn signals. And as more and more people move here, and well, so I contributed to two things. One is the people who move here, and the other is for the kids who are growing up and starting to drive. They don't use the turn signals. So it's a mixture. But
So,
no, I'm going to blame the out of
Tell our
staters.
viewers and Donnie what you need on your car if your kids learn how to drive.
You know what? There was this amazing bumper sticker that I saw that I think I need to put on everything. And it's like, do you know Jesus as close as you follow me?
That's a
I
good
thought that
one.
was hilarious.
So, Don, if you have a kid or if you're an older person that you're learning how to drive for the first time, they give you a sticker to put on your car that you're a student driver. You haven't
Oh,
noticed that?
I-
Sarah?
I saw people with those. I didn't know they
That's
gave
what it
them.
is.
Oh, I know. I've seen when they're.
I've been
when
in
they're
Texas for
teaching.
like a second, and I know more about Texas than you do. How did that happen?
My daughter went through that, and they never gave us a sticker. And she
Maybe
went through
because
that,
it's
what,
salty,
2.5,
sassy
3
attitude.
years ago. So I
That's
don't know
a-
who you're
yes.
talking to or where they're going that they're getting these stickers.
No
I do
sticker
see
for
them,
her.
but just saying, sir.
Oh, another sir.
I know. So here, do not drink when you watch our podcast. How many times I say "sir" to Eddie? Because I would not. Be
Shots. We got the Donnie game and we got the
Donnie's-
Sarah game now.
Right. Or to Donnie's. That's a good question. Or
No,
how many times
that's a
Eddie can
great
interrupt
question.
everybody? Yes. You will seriously have some issues.
So
That's right.
I always tease Donnie about having gold bars and everything. And once a day, you got both know more than likely I'm stopping for like fresh food or something at Wally World. And I'm walking through the discount section and I'm looking at these head racquetball rackets. And I just out of curiosity, I'm like, Donnie, how much do these things cost when you usually buy a tennis racket? And I was surprised, but I'm not too surprised because when Katie played softball, I knew it was nothing for a bat to cost anywhere between $300 and $500.
Yeah. That's
Tell
crazy.
everybody how much a good tennis racket is, Don.
Well, I mentioned, anywhere from $150 to $250, $300, which is a good racket.
So
Not
you
what
should
the
get
pros
those-
use.
You should get those little microchips for when you leave it someplace, Don.
Yeah, I was telling Eddie the story that I last night I went to play tennis, and my tennis bag has two like zip pouches. One I keep 3 rackets in, and the other my sneakers, towel, water, whatever. And so I go into my racket side, and there's only 2 rackets here, and I normally have 3. And
Why
there's
do you
one
need
racket
3?
that I always use.
Why
Well,
do you need 3?
So I have 3 in there because in case strings break, which they do break, I've got one handy. And then if somebody else's racket strings break, if they need it, I've got an extra one. That's all.
You're so conscientious, Don.
So
So if we were playing tennis, first of all, we were never going to be playing tennis together. But you would let me use one of your racket? I break shit all the time. I wouldn't do
That's all right.
that.
that's all right. They're older. That's fine. So anyway,
Don't say old stuff because then Sarah will just talk crap about us again.
that's right. That's right. So I go to the front desk because the last time I played tennis was at the same club that I played last night. Did anybody find a racket and turn it in? I showed them. It looks like this. No. I don't know what happened to it. And
Donnie Lowe always talking about some kind of racket he's involved in.
that's right. It's a string racket, I tell you. It's a string.
Hey, what are you looking at, Sarah? What are you looking at?
She's
I
muted.
am trying to get a hold of my children because my daughter's coming with me to the doctor's appointment,
Nice.
and I have 30 minutes to wake her up since she works the night shift.
So
to
are you
make
going to be
sure she's
doped
ready.
up? Are you going to be all doped up at the dentist?
Is she all dope? What?
No,
Are you going to be doped up at the
Oh,
dentist?
I don't know. So I just started having some pains in my tooth on Tuesday, and this is more of it's starting to also spread down like my throat, like on the side, and then like the upper one. So I don't know what's going on, and I want it fixed as soon as possible.
So,
to be
are you
honest with
adverse
I
to
don't think
needles?
It's your tooth. Like, I think it's.
I hate needles. I have a ton of tattoos. I hate needles. Hate them, which is hilarious because I have.
Hello,
like,
Mr.
14
Needle.
She's a scary person because I was at the gym one day and there was an older woman across from me, and show them
How much older?
Sarah. Not as old as you, Don. So she was a spring chicken.
There you
So
go.
show everybody your tattoo, Sarah. A lady had the same freaking tattoo. It's
Really?
a rubber duck with a hat on it and a monocle. And I said to her, she had tons of tats. And I said, oh, blah, blah, blah. I got to tell, my partner about it. And I tell Sarah, and what do you think she said, Don? Did you rip her skin off her body? How dare she have this thing?
I said, did you cut it off? I didn't say rip the skin off.
Cutting's so much better than ripping, I guess, Don. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I apologize. I spoke wrong.
Yes, you did.
Look at that.
I told you I like horror
laughing.
movies, and Saw is a really good movie. So I'm like, just cut it off. Why is she copying me? And he's like,
Not as good as
no, she's an
poultry,
older
guys,
biker chick.
Sarah.
And I'm like, oh, no, never mind. I disagree.
Oh,
We'll leave that
what
alone.
did you say?
He said,
No.
older biker chick.
Oh,
That's what he said.
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
Once
So,
again, the
here's-
comments of Eddie Buffalo are surely for entertainment purposes. And I'm sorry about saying chick. I can't help myself. I
So here's
really
the
try
thing.
hard to be good.
I like Chick-fil-A.
I grew up saying chicks and
Jesus, chicken.
dudes. Like that's just it is what it is. But for anyone who's offended,
Ooh,
he
look at the
meant
glass
older
I got today,
biker
Sarah.
lady. And for someone who does not know what biker is, he means the person who rides the motorcycle, not a biker peddler.
So I think I
see.
told both of you this story. I was leaving for the gym in the morning and I had garbage in my hand. I'm taking the garbage out before I go. And on the front door of my apartment, I have a Buffalo Bills sugar skull. And there's all kinds of birds in this area. So I got like little feathers sticking in the metal part of the thing that's holding it up. And I'm looking and I'm like, what the heck? So everybody has those on their door, and every single door except mine had a pamphlet about Jesus. Did I scare them away?
I
love
love
Jesus.
for you.
I think that boy's on voodoo.
They're like, oh no, not that dude.
Yeah, you can't save him. You can't.
Mr. Knight.
Yeah. So you didn't tell me how do you do at football?
They did good. They won 58-0.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then he played a little bit more this game. They're starting to put him in as a nose guard, which is fantastic.
Nice. He seems happy.
He's very happy.
Good.
Well, it's funny because the guys get thrown off with Aiden because he's smaller. They think he's easier to just move out of the way, and he's not. He's very solid. And then he also hit a growth spurt, so that helped too.
Do you have to do any precautions when he plays sports because of his diabetes?
Yes and no. So we just have to make sure that his blood sugar levels aren't too high, aren't too low, and keep an eye on it. So if you do lots of physical activity, it's supposed to naturally lower your blood sugars. However, because it's stressful with the game and the excitement and the adrenaline, that doesn't mean he's going to go low. It could wait until after the game.
Then he bottoms
With
out.
diabetes, there's so many different plays. And then he wears a pump. And so the only issue we've run across is it gets knocked off during the game. And we just correct it with insulin. Like, he's fine. So
You know, when I was younger, I had a pump too.
Oh,
we're not going to go into that.
I had those.
Um,
I had those awesome sneakers that you had to pump up.
I remember those.
You must have been rich. You talk about me.
I
Those
know,
are
right?
expensive.
She is rich. Look
I'm
at
talking
her.
to you.
Yeah, I would say
Air
just because I
Jordan,
remembered them does not mean I had them.
Do you like my Dale Earnhardt hat up that I have on today, Sarah?
Oh, is that who that is?
No, it's not.
It's not.
So, well, believe it or not, folks, we have made it to an hour, and I think that's more than enough of our nonsense
Yes.
for today. It was very nice of you joining us, Sarah. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
'Cause you're so
Sorry
much
for
busier
the
than-
extra sassy, spicy level at the beginning.
You're always so much busier than anybody else in the world. You're the busiest in the world.
Oh, well, it's
So
not
everybody
even
knows that.
busy. It's been a week. We love to go above and beyond for our clients, but something that we know that it's always not going to be a good fit. And as of right now, we have a few clients who we have to dispute with, which is never fun. So,
And I'm begging our listeners, please don't send me any more nasty letters about Sarah. She's a good girl. She loves her dogs. She loves her cats. She loves her kids.
yes. Well, and our dog is having some health issues. So
No. I don't want to hear about your dog. We gotta go. If you like watching shows like our show, we're the place to watch this show. So for your buddy Eddie Buffalo, Sassy Sarah, and Donnie Lowe, we are out of here before she opens up her mouth anymore.
Ciao.
All right. Have a wonderful weekend and stay safe, everybody. God. And they wonder why I drink. I should drink again.
I moved the button.